What's going on, everybody? My name is Kareem Manuel, and I'm the host of the We Are the Ones podcast. During this time with people, we are going to be talking to thought leaders, influencers, political leaders, cultural makers, finding out what was the spark in them that made them jump, take that leap of faith, to take matters into their own hands, to galvanize and organize people around a common goal or agenda. We talk about all of the struggles that we have every day and how we overcome them. Issues of self-doubt, self-worth. How do you learn how to build and run a business or go to scale? How do you work within an existing infrastructure and make it better? How do you look at the world that you currently live in, see issues or problems that you feel like you can solve, and then how do you bring your magic, your ideals to the situation to make it better? What's up, We Society? This is Kareem Manuel. To my left, I have my friend Eli. Eli, do you mind introducing yourself to the people, who you are, what you do?
Eli Day, photographer.
All right, so we talk all the time. When you hear the We Society, what do you think of, and why did you feel like you should, I guess, be a part of it?
Well, the We Society to me is like a prescription for society, right? And I say that because, you know, especially now in the climate that we're living in, there's a lot of team sports, I guess you could say, like, you know, your team this, your team that, or, you know, you believe this or you believe that, and we're starting to like separate more and more, right? So the reason I say it's a prescription is because it feels like that's, you know, an illness going on in our society, and we, in its simplest form, doesn't define any specific thing. It's just us, we. So I think it's good because you don't have to be anything but a believer in we, you know, in us coming together. So, you know, whether that be race, religion, you know, political stance or whatever else, I think that we is something that, you know, everybody can not only be a part of, but needs to be a part of.
Man, that's good. I like that a lot, actually. That inspires me. When, do you feel like you have in your personal life like an idea of being who you were waiting for and taking like just responsibility for yourself and control your life, like in your career or your personal life? Like, how has the idea of like we are the ones, it's on me to kind of change what I see? If you have those stories, do you have one that you could share with us? Like, how did you become a photographer that gets booked on these sets? How did you, you know, what was that process like, your thought process to what actually happened?
I think at heart, I've always had a hard time like sitting still, but when I was younger, I didn't know why, you know. It's kind of like this, I don't know if you've seen Alexander Hamilton, but there's a song in there called Never Satisfied, right? And growing up, you're taught, well, if you're never satisfied, then you're selfish and you're not grateful or what have you. But I can remember very specifically being a merchant seaman, and I'd spent a lot of time going to school to, you know, get to the level that I was. I was making like excellent money, and I remember sitting on my bed on the ship thinking, this cannot be it. Like I'm in a vicious cycle because I'm young, I am making the money I was making, so I come home, spend the money, then go out on another ship, you know, to make the money back. But there wasn't a mentality of you know, saving or even doing anything with that money.
Investing it, anything.
Right. So one day I was like, I just can't keep doing this. I was actually in the middle of the Indian Ocean on a ship in Diego Garcia, and I walked up to the captain's office. I asked him to pay me off, basically. That's, you know. And his response was, what do you mean pay you off? What are you doing? And I was like, I'm not gonna sail anymore. And he was like, what are you gonna do, go work at Burger King or something? And I didn't know what I was gonna do. But I did know that something was pulling me.
Yeah.
So with the final bit of money that I had, I did make an investment. I bought 2 Canon XL1 cameras. I did a lot of YouTube watching. Mm-hmm. I bought digital video for dummies. I bought editing for dummies. I bought 2 iMacs, and I immersed myself in learning how to shoot video. That led to me being Idris Elba's behind the scenes guy. Like before like the internet and the blogging and everything else, you know, like I said, it was a Canon XL1, so I was shooting the tape, but it was just content, you know, he just wanted some content. And eventually he asked me if I wanted to come to LA to be his assistant on a movie. I had no clue what being an assistant was. As far as I knew, I was just getting coffee, you know, I didn't know. And I did really bad at being an assistant, terrible, you know. Not so terrible that he was like, "You're fired, get away from here," but I just wasn't good at it. But he did recognize something else in me, and that was my eye. And he told me, you know, I think that you really need to pursue this video or this photography thing, preferably photography. Like, I really think you should, you know. And he was like, you know, two kings can't live in the same house. And that was his thing. He was like, I think you need to do your thing. So I took it as he fired me. But he didn't fire me. He really like let me loose on the world.
Released you,
you know?
Unleashed you.
And again, I went back to YouTube and I bought cameras and I, you know, started learning. I was a PA on a show called Let's Stay Together. One of the actors on there, Rico Lee, and I sparked up a lot of discussion about photography. And you know, he recommended me to shoot something. The thing he recommended me to shoot was non-union, then got flipped to union. So, like in a nutshell, you have a rudder, right? And your rudder is you. You know, you're steering. But there's also this thing, I may call it the wrong thing, but it's called like a sea anchor. That on rafts, it goes ahead of you, and it's basically just like it's almost like a sail, but in the water. And it kind of anchors the front and it guides you with the current. So for me, I think what I looked up and learned was keep a light hand on the rudder, but follow that path that you're being led down. You know what I'm saying? And
So you said, you know, there was something that was pulling you. You felt like this is not it. Like my world can be better than this. But you had no clue, it wasn't a clear picture of what to go for. What do you say to those people who feel that right now? Like who feel something pulling them, tugging them to say like, no, you can do more and you need to get up right now and say, I'm not sailing another day. I'm gonna go. Like how do you deal with the voices that say you're gonna fail? Like what do we say to them to let them know like it's amazing on the other side?
First I'd say loosen your grip, you know, and I speak in a lot of metaphors, but that's how I understand things. So like I said, you got your rudder, like don't grip so hard. You know what I mean? Loosen it and feel where it's going. The human mind is conditioned to protect you, right? Your loved ones are conditioned to protect you. So if you do anything that's unknown, there's fear all around, not only by you, but the people who love you. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you get hurt. They don't want to see you go broke. Like if we're real, like nobody wants to see a friend or family member go broke, not only because that's suffrage, but I mean, have to loan you money. You know what I mean? So
everything.
But like you just said, on the other side, and it's hard, man. Like it's hard. And there are plenty of times where, you know, if you haven't embarked on it yet, when you do, it's like when you first start exercising or first start doing anything, your mind says, stop. Stop. We're headed for pain. Don't do this anymore. Be safe. Stay at that job. Be safe. Work at AT&T. Be safe. You know,
accept whatever it is.
Don't take that chance with your last $500. But man, I couldn't have written, imagined, or even fathomed where I am today And what that does to you, once you get somewhere that you couldn't have imagined being, you'll imagine there's infinite possibilities.
Possibilities are endless.
Things, I get excited about what I don't know.
Yep.
Like literally, like when you think about that, like where I'm headed excites me and I have no idea where I'm headed.
I heard a quote that said, like, you know, intelligence is hitting a target that's hard to see. Genius is hitting a target that no one sees. And that's what I feel like the We Society tries to do, is like, we don't exactly know the end picture, but it's so exciting to be moving into the future when we have, I don't know, the ability to just continue to make it better, like as ourselves, as together. Another part of the story I think that's so beautiful and, I don't know, just exciting to me is the connection that you make to like people helping you along the way, saying, I don't know what I'm doing, but I have access. So one of the pillars is we have everything we need. So let me get these books, let me use YouTube, let me learn, let me sharpen myself. But then I meet someone who, like, even like meeting you when we met, right? I met you through Kim, and that's like, oh, there's something here. I want to spark this.
Absolutely.
And then you share the idea with somebody else. It's not just on me, even though it's on me.
It is,
right?
yeah.
It's on me, but it's us, it's we together. I think honoring the journey, like this person and this person and this person, they've all helped me to get here.
You have to use your momentum. But before you can use momentum, you have to get started. And no one can jumpstart you for you.
Period.
Like you literally, and everybody loves to help someone they see helping themselves.
Yep.
Everyone.
Yep.
So if you're in a car and your car breaks down, like if you see a hill there, just push. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna be tired.
Yep.
You're gonna hurt. But if you get to the top of that hill enough for it to just crest, all you gotta do is get in and go. You know what I'm saying? You just gave a really good quote, and I'll counter it with one that I heard. It says, "If I fall, let me fall. Who I'll become will catch me."
Woo!
Like, we're so afraid of falling. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
Like you hear a lot of old cats say, "These young boys scared to take a punch."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, we so afraid of falling, man. But the character you build
And develop.
on the way down and getting back up, you get up a different person.
Yeah.
So fall.
Yeah.
Fall, man. Trip yourself.
Yep.
Make the mistake. I've shot 100,000 terrible photos that I thought were great at the time. I look back and I'm like,
Ooh, what was I?
but I had to shoot those.
You had to.
I had to. And the ones I'm shooting now, I'm sure 5 years from now, I'll look back and be like, So,
Because we grow.
yeah.
Man, no, thank you. This is good. I do want to ask why you think what the We Society is doing is important. I think that's important to have answered. So,
You know what, man, like I said earlier, just the fact that there's no walls in we. You don't have to be white to join this. You don't have to be black to join this. You don't have to be Republican to join this. You don't have to be Democrat. You don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be Muslim. It's we. We in this room need to get out of this room that we're locked in.
Yep.
We in this fire need to work together to get out of the building. We have to build this shelter to protect us.
Yeah.
We have to defend this space. Like, if people start thinking of humanity as an emergency that we need to come together, then those lines that have been placed in front of us at someone else's game, because it's just a game for other people.
I agree.
We were talking the other day about, there's no coincidence that Republican and Democrat are two colors, boxing rings are two colors, and the biggest gangs in our nation are the same colors. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like, we have to come together on. I tell people all the time, talk to somebody that you don't agree with.
Yep.
There's a Trump supporter that works on all of my vehicles. And we literally sit and talk the whole time he's working on the vehicles, and we have a beer afterwards. And he's called me so many times and said, man, thank you for letting me be me. So we work together on my car.
And there you go.
Yep.
And who knows how much sharper you get. I believe.
And how much more open he gets.
That's what I'm saying.
And me.
I'm proud to know you. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I'm glad to have someone like you in the We Society. I think the lessons I get just from watching you, it's like, yeah, we don't know, That's kind of when I started. I had no idea, but I had some idea, right?
You knew you were right.
Right.
You knew you were, and that too is wired into us. If you're going down the wrong path, there's something in you that undeniably
This doesn't
feel right.
But when I knew so much I was right this time when people kept saying, this is wrong, this is dangerous, don't do this. Are you sure you're going to change everything? What are you talking about? And it's like, I don't know where it came from to just stand and be like, no, this is what needs to happen. I will not stop until this vision, this feeling that I see in my head, that I feel in my body exists in the world so that people have a place, a safe space to be themselves, to learn from each other, to sharpen each other, not to do the same things. If I picked up a camera right now and tried to do what you do, I don't know if I would be as successful. But because you are doing what you are supposed to be doing and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, when we meet, there's a synergy that we can create for a whole new thing, each of us running in our own lanes. And that's we to me. So thank you for this time, man. Thank you for the talk. Hopefully we get to do it again soon.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.